Topic: Structural Material Adhesives, Fiberglass and Vesconite. At the end of this lesson you should be able to understand the following concepts: synthetic materials, properties, application and safety. Adhesives, silicone, PVC, cold glue, epoxy, latex etc. Fiberglass, resin. Vesconite, Teflon. Learning content covered in Grade 12 Term 1. Safety. Synthetic materials. Adhesives, https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=6q@kj4r08. Name the two most important aspects to consider when choosing an adhesive. Type of material to be welded. Conditions/circumstances under which this burden will be applied. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=ubwetxcqnis. Name some types of adhesive. Epoxy, silicone, resorcinol, latex, PVA/PVC, cold glue. No more nails. Name the conditions under which an adhesive can be used and briefly describe each. Heat resistance, temperature. The adhesive itself should not distort, melt or burn when heated. Some types of plastic are extremely heat resistant like Buccolite, and some are not heat resistant like Perspex, which easily changes shape when heated. Water resistance. When using an adhesive in wet conditions, a water-resistant adhesive should be used to make the joint. Elasticity/flexibility. Some adhesives become very hard and brittle when dried. If we want to weld elastic material, we will use an adhesive, which is still elastic even after it has dried. E.g. Bostik, Prestik. Load capacity. The adhesive must be able to withstand mass or load. Fire resistance/flammability. Where an adhesive is used to weld synthetic materials, where it is subjected to open flames or heat, the adhesive must meet the same properties. Bonding time. The period that an adhesive will last after it has been applied. Durability of usability/cohesion. Period that the mixed adhesive will remain usable before setting. Catalyst and accelerator can affect the rate at which this happens. Describe the difference between the cohesive and adhesion properties of an adhesive. Cohesion. Inherent strength of the adhesive. Adhesion. Ability of the molecules of an adhesive to cling to the molecules of other substances. What can you recommend to improve the bonding/cohesive properties of an adhesive? Apply a thin base coat if the surface is very porous. Apply only a thin layer of the adhesive. Apply adhesive to both surfaces. Too thick a layer of adhesive will lead to a weak load. Fiberglass https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=ih1ybm6bjynt=127s. What is a resin? These are low viscosity liquids that can be converted into highly flexible solids by the addition of a hardener. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=wjzytfxnnwc. Name 7 precautions that must be taken when working with fiberglass. Catalyst and accelerator must always be stored separately. Explosion. Remove all resin, catalyst and accelerator from the skin. Wear gloves if skin is sensitive. Use acetone in a well-ventilated area. Handle cast resin carefully. It is brittle and can break easily. Fiberglass mat has small pieces of fiber that can penetrate the skin. Do not inhale or get fiberglass into your eyes. May cause blindness. Why should the catalyst and accelerator be stored separately? They can cause an explosive mixture. What is the hardener also called? Catalyst. Name 10 properties of fiberglass. Light. Waterproof. Do not conduct electricity. Can be formed into any shape. Easy to color. Color fast. Can be sawn, drilled or filed. Toughness. Brittle when beaten. Easily repairable if it breaks. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=sign-dm9l3m. Name 5 examples of fiberglass products. Lampshades, fruit trays, golf clubs, boats, bicycles. Vesconite. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=ojpn9qrkg-y. What is Vesconite? Vesconite is a specialized thermoplastic plastic made from internally lubricated polymers. Properties of Vesconite //www.youtube.com/watch v=8-bit rs7a0. Vesconite is an exceptional lower material that gives a long life and a low wear coefficient to parts. Even in dirty and unoiled/ungreased conditions, Vesconite gives a long life with low maintenance and low friction. Whether dry or underwater, ungreased or lubricated, a very low coefficient of friction means Vesconite is ideal for many marine/seawater/water applications. Water is an excellent lubricant for Vesconite that makes it suitable for both dry and wet applications. Vesconite has many advantages over elastomers, bronze, phenolic laminates, rubber, and nylon. Underwater or in humid conditions, Vesconite will not expand/swell, grip or wear like nylon. Vesconite internal lubricants make it suitable for the upper rudder mechanism of boats where there are long periods between lubrication or no lubrication, or where water lubrication cannot be ensured when working with a light ballast. Vesconite is extremely versatile and combines the benefits of metal and non-metal bearings and bushings and performs in most common bearing applications. Long wear life. Vesconite gives up to 10 times the service life of phosphor bronze in poorly lubricated conditions. Vesconite keeps its dimensions, does not swell in water. For most synthetic materials, water expansion is a major problem and excessive clearance is often used to compensate. Larger clearances can increase vibration and cause faster wear and tear and thus a much shorter lifespan. Vesconite is one of the most dimensionally stable synthetic materials available because it does not expand in water. Therefore, Vesconite bearings can be machined with the correct clearance without fear of expansion/swelling. Vesconite stays hard. Softening caused by moisture or immersion conditions has disadvantages for traditional synthetic carrier, such as those based on elastomers and nylons, which soften in water and lose their compression force. Vesconite does not delaminate. Delamination occurs when liquid penetrates the lower layers and causes the layers to break down or peel off. Delamination is a major problem in many laminated or composite materials where swelling in the cracked portions occur. Vesconite has low friction. Compared to most elastomers, rubber, nylons, and laminates, Vesconite has a low static and dynamic friction occurring in difficult working environment or dry or wet, lightly or heavily charged, maintained. SOS, save our shafts. Vesconite protects the shaft and liner due to its low friction, reduces wear and tear and increases service life, limit maintenance or early replacement of expensive components, thus providing financial savings. Vesconite does not wear. Vesconite is not subject to electrolytic corrosion, a major problem with traditional metal lower materials. Easy removal of Vesconite bearings. Since there is no electrolytic corrosion with Vesconite, this means that it does not burn like metal bearings and therefore easy to remove. Safety and health. Vesconite does not contain any asbestos, lead, hazardous fibers or substances, which makes it safe to machine and handle. Easy to machine. Compared to metallic, cut less, bronze or synthetic materials, Vesconite is very easy and safe to use. Machine on standard metal or woodworking machinery. Vesconite compared to white metal. Vesconite has a higher loading limit than white metal, a higher metal fatigue strength and 2 to 3 times the wear and tear. Product range. Bushes, pressure washers, solid bars, plates and wear tracks. Applications in agriculture include tractors, Crankshaft bushings for most tractor makes. Buses for brake and clutch systems. Steering clutch buses. Lifting bushes. Planters. PNU monosem planters wear plates. Pressure wheel bushes. Drive shaft needle bearings can also be replaced with Vesconite. Harvesters. Variable speed pulley bushes. Windmills. Vesconite is of particular value in wind pump applications. Lots of metal on metal parts, leading to high wear coefficient. With Vesconite buses these parts can be given a longer life. Irrigation. Several buses in the gearboxes of pivot irrigation systems. Trailers. Coupling pin/rocker and pivot boxes for use on high and low speed agricultural trailers. Why use Vesconite? Has a very low coefficient of friction. Can be used in a dry or lubricated application. Dimensionally stable. Do not swell or burn on ashes. Do not soften or delaminate. Benefits of Vesconite. Easy to install and remove. Does not wear out and is non-conductive. Will not wear axles and liners like the traditional lower material. Resistance to a wide range of chemicals. TEFLON https://www.youtube.com/watch v=GRCRKOWs. Description of Teflon. One of the most versatile and well-known chemical engineering products, Teflon, was discovered by chance. Inventors tossed together chemicals and accidentally discovered a valuable product like Teflon. Teflon is a polytetrafluoroethylene, PTFE. Teflon is the plastic with the lowest coefficient of friction. It is also used as a non-stick coating for pens and other cookware. Teflon is very unreactive and is often used in containers and pipes for reactive chemicals. The melting point is 327 degrees Celsius. Teflon is sometimes said to be an outgrowth of the US space program with several terrestrial applications, but in fact its first significant use in the Manhattan Project, as an essential highly reactive uranium hexafluoride. It was first sold commercially in 1946. Advantages. Inactive around virtually all commercial chemicals, acids, alcohols, coolants, hydrocarbons, solvents, synthetic compounds and hydraulic fluids. Suitable for steam up to 250 psi, 406 degrees Fahrenheit, has a low volumetric expansion property, easy to clean and sterilize. Not affected by continuous bending, vibration or impulse pressure. Resistant to alternating hot and cold cycles. Easier to move, handle and install than rubber pipes with a comparable burst pressure rating. The low coefficient of friction of Teflon and anti-stick properties reduces pressure while maintaining good surface pressure. Jackson Teflon pipes have an optional conductive liner for removing static buildup.
Please like, share and subscribe to the channel for more future educational videos.